show, we did a little bit of college university takeover. We're going to do it again for this show, and we're excited because Weber International University has been a fantastic partner of tourism, sports marketing, but really Polk County. So we're going to get a chance to talk and look at a couple different areas of the athletic program. And to start this first segment, we're going to welcome Brad Niethammer, Weber International Athletic Director, and I want to call you coach. You were a coach for a very long time, so is it okay if I just call you coach?
That's perfect.
All right, well, welcome to Sports Central, and we certainly appreciate your time. You were named the interim athletic director in July 2020. What a time to earn that role with everything that was going on in the world.
Yeah, that was a nice little challenge to step into an interim role with all the COVID and things that we had to deal with. So I think that the way I approached it, if I could handle that, then I was definitely ready to take the job, because it was challenging. But I think Weber and all the staff did a very good job with it, and hopefully we're past that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's talk about, before we get into some of your day-to-day responsibilities as the athletic director, let's go back to what you did for a very long time on the coaching side, and what originally brought you to Weber? Because I think when you came, it was actually Weber College, correct?
Correct. So it was kind of I think I just kind of fell into it. I left college, had an opportunity to go to spring training with the Texas Rangers right out of graduating from college. When I left there, I started helping out at Lake Wells High School. Had the opportunity to coach there for a year, then went to Frostproof High School, and then I was just approached from the people at Weber saying they were going to start the baseball program, and asked me if I was interested, and so I got to interview and ended up being fortunate to get the job.
Awesome. Obviously being coach, I think 760 games or so there with Weber, and a long tenure there. What made you want to kind of step outside of that and get into a new realm of the administrative side and the position you're in now as the AD?
I think the biggest reason, I was just ready for a new challenge. Mm-hmm. I started when I was 25 and coached for 26 years. We had some success, down the stretch, and I was just ready to. The type of player I think's changed a little bit. I hate to think I'm one of the old school guys, because I used to look at others as the old school coaches. But things change, and I think I was ready to just take on another challenge. And then I also had a person in place that I felt like would step in and do an awesome job in Colin Martin. So that made the transition really easy.
Wonderful.
760 wins in coaching. I know a lot of times coaches that are in it say, I don't look at that stuff. I don't know what the numbers are. When you were done, did you look at that? I mean, there has to be a sense of accomplishment or personal accomplishment. That's a lot of wins.
Yeah, but you haven't mentioned the losses.
We didn't put that down. It's still a lot of wins.
Yeah. If we don't talk about it, it didn't happen.
I mean, I think I was ranked in the top 20 of active coaches at the time. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of games when I look back on it. And I've actually, there were a few times I looked at that, and if you're above 500 in coaching, especially on the higher level, you've done a pretty good job. There's very few coaches, even if you look on the major league level, that their records are outstanding. A lot of coaches that are 500 bounce around and get different jobs, time after time. But it's a lot of games, but the time flew. I do know that. And when I look back on it, I wonder where it went, because I can remember the first season in 1994, and I still communicate with some of those guys that played for me, and it seems like yesterday, not 26 years ago.
Yeah.
So what in those 700 plus wins and then the losses that you're talking about, we don't have it here, so we're not going to put a number to it. But
right.
What in that experience, I think you said 26 years, what in the 26 years of your coaching experiences, the wins and the losses prepared you for, March 2020, seemingly the world shut down, and you take over as the interim AD in July of 2020. So what prepares you to, not so much the COVID side of it, I mean COVID yes, but just the day-to-day grind of being an athletic director with college programs?
I think being a coach, you have to learn how to adjust and adapt if you're good. And that's just like life. You know, I've always joked and would tell people the T-shirt you see, baseball is life. There's a lot of truth to that with the ups and downs in baseball. And if you can deal with the downs, you know, the ups are going to be okay. But I think coaching, I tell people all the time, the only difference between being an athletic director and a coach is you're coaching coaches instead of coaching players. It's still kind of the same philosophy. You're trying to be an example and a role model for them, help them out the best you can. And when you're a head coach, you're doing the same for your student athletes. It's just they're a little bit more on the immature side and growing up, and it's more of a role model. But I also have, you know, young coaches on staff as well as people that are veteran coaches. So I feel like there's a lot of the same traits that you carry over from coaching to administration. That's probably why you see so many coaches that retire go into administration.
Yeah. Coming to Weber in 94, I believe it was, 93, 94, and being there for over 20 years now, just speak of some of the things that you guys have been able to do at Weber University now, originally college, through those time, and kind of how Weber has grown and what it's grown into today.
It's probably tough to think of all the different things that have happened from I've seen some aerial pictures of what it used to be even before we had the baseball field. Yeah. So when I first started, we had the opportunity to build, I think softball was built right before a couple years prior to baseball. Then we added, you know, the baseball field, the baseball program. The latest things that we've done, we've just refinished the gym floor, new bleachers in our gym. We've got a new turf field for football and lacrosse and soccer plays out there on occasion. Trying to think what else we have done. I might have blank right there.
Well, I mean, that's a lot right
yeah,
there.
That's
I
a
mean,
lot.
You're talking about the football team competing on campus. And of course, we're gonna talk to Coach in our next segment. But just the growth and if you could, we've only got a couple of minutes left, but talk about how important athletics are to, you know, we see it at the major college football and other, you know, almost state universities, if you will. It's just as important to the small colleges as well for the athletics being a part and that pride, right?
Right. Well, we're definitely athletic driven. I mean, the percentage of athletes you'll hear through the years, we've heard from 95 to 98% depending on each year's enrollment. So about everywhere you look, you're going to see a student athlete of some sort. I think when I first started, we had about 300 student athletes, and this fall we had over 780 student athletes. So the growth has been in athletics, and we continue. I think our newest programs that we've added, we had men and women's lacrosse that participated in their first season last year, and women's flag football, which our women's flag football team participated in. They played the very first game in women's collegiate flag football. So Weber has that in the record books as to being the first team to compete through the NAI on that.
Wonderful. Volleyball, and Gerald, I don't know if you know this, but the bowling team's kind of good too.
Yeah.
they're okay, right?
Yeah.
Yes, the bowling team's probably been our most successful sport through the years, but we have had some others that have won some championships, and you know the goal is to. You were asking about the coaching to the administration. I'm just trying to take some of the same things I tried to do with the baseball program, and just put that same position with the athletic department, you know, grow the facilities and try to become more competitive across the board with all sports.
Speaking of that, you know, you talked about the things that you guys added there with flag football, lacrosse, so forth. What's on the, what's kind of coming up for Weber that, you know, whether it's new sports that are being added, new things that are being built, what's on the horizon and kind of down the road that that's coming for Weber?
Sport-wise, I don't have anything on the horizon at the moment because I think with our facilities we are pretty close to being maxed out. Some of our top priorities that we're trying to do facility-wise, we want to add lights to the turf field. We want to get bleachers and press box for that. We need to add some additional locker rooms, and then we also are currently having some plans drawn up for a multi-purpose building. So basketball, volleyball, and our cheer programs can use that because our gym pretty much runs as soon as class is out, 3:15, they're practicing until 11 o'clock at night. So we need another facility so we can give our student athletes a little bit better experience so they're not staying up half the night just trying to get a practice in.
That's great. Well, we appreciate the time. Of course, you can go to weberathletics.com for more information if you're looking to go down there, take a look at the campus, the facilities, and we truly appreciate your time and look forward to having you back on soon.
All right, thanks for having me.